Good morning, everyone. We're starting a little late this morning. I was trying to start at 8. We're at 8:02. That's okay. Coffee Club has officially began. I got to tell you, this search was beyond brutal. It was beyond freaking brutal. I mean, just brutal, brutal, brutal on my feet. I swear. And it was a rough, some people don't realize the actual terrain that we were in. And I think that's where a lot of the problems lie. Good morning, everyone that is joining. We're going to wait just kind of chit chat this morning and as people start coming in. Again, we are starting later than normal. It is Sunday. I was exhausted. But as promised, I wanted to make sure I was here. So, a lot of things, we did 2 days of searches and then we covered a couple of other past cases. So yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Let me see what I can do here. So it's just going to do that. Okay. At any rate, I've got some stuff I wanted to go over, got some stuff to show you. I'm finally getting acclimated with the MacBook. I'm able to see my my hard drive, my external hard drive, and able to pull stuff up now and kind of still, I called Olivia last night. I'm having heart palpitations because my thumbnail program is on my Dell. My Dell motherboard finally went kaput. It's the second one in the Dell, but that had all my programs, Windows programs and Mac programs. They like I just can't install a Windows program on a Mac computer and get it to working. So I've been using the Dell for all my thumbnails. Well, the Dell is completely out. So I'm so very thankful. Thank God things happen for a reason that we were able to get another computer. I had several small donors for it and then one angel donor that helped make this possible. And of course, I covered everything else related to this computer. So very thankful for that. So for all those that contributed, that crowdfunded to help get this MacBook Pro, I'm very thankful for you. Thank you. God bless you. We would be down right now without it. Seriously, we were at McDonald's. I was looking up something for Jonathan. Because when we got to our room, well, it was kind of it was a unique experience. It wasn't really a room. We did an Airbnb, but it was quite unique. I don't even think we took a picture of the place we were at. PTSD from Tennessee, I reckon. Making sure that we don't put anything out there on the internet. So at any rate, it was quite the experience. It was very uncomfortable, I gotta say. We were in the backwoods. We had intermittent. When the internet worked, it worked well. When it didn't, we had no choice but to get up and go to the Walmart, or not the Walmart, the McDonald's. And Jonathan was having some phone issues with the McDonald's internet, and I was looking it up, and I turned around, and the computer was blank. And I thought, oh, okay, well, it just must have went to sleep. I was sitting there chit chatting, it just went to sleep. Thing wouldn't turn on. It's not charging, nothing. I'm like dead. So last night I'm trying to make thumbnails. I don't know what to do. I still not familiar with the apps and what apps are the best and stuff. Olivia's the go-to for the Mac. She's been using them for years, right? And so I'm like literally having heart palpitations. Like I'm ready to pull my hair out last night. And I'm calling her and I'm like, you've got to make me a thumbnail. I don't know what I'm doing here. And it's just oh my gosh. And she's like, Andrew, calm down. It's okay. It's going to be fine. I said, I feel like it's you trying to edit a video because she gets, I got to do this. She's ready to pull her hair out and stuff like that. And it was funny. It was just funny. So she got to tell me to calm down. And while I'm like going crazy, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need your help. It was great. It was great. Good morning, everybody. If you guys are just joining in, please go get your cup of Joe. Coffee Club is going to begin soon. We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff. We're going to be discussing paolamiranda Rosa, her case, what we did out there. And just to inform you of some things, I just want to show the world what I did to myself. I don't think it's sharing now. Let's see if we can get it over here. These are the huge size blisters that I had on my poor little feet. Oops, let me get out of this one. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. Uh-oh. Why is this thing not letting me out? Close. Close. Oh, boy. Okay, so how do I get out of this? Lord have mercy. I don't know what I'm doing here. Everything's going on that one. Why is this not closing out? There we go. Sorry, I'm just not familiar with this. I pulled up a thing. All right, let's try it again. Where's my foot? There we go. That is 1 foot blister right there. That is a nickel size blister on my foot. That's just one. That's just one. We have 2 feet. This one has 2 of them. Why does it do that? That has 2 big old blisters. That is from walking in wading gear. That is from walking in wading gear. That is from walking in boots. That was just, I'm telling you, it was horrible. Nobody can say that we did not do a lot of walking. I mean, my feet hurt so bad coming back. We even got, I don't know if JLR has posted the video, but on our way back, we were walking and we just got to a point where we said, we've got to stop. We have seriously got to stop. And so last night, I was talking to a friend on the phone, one of the viewers here and lovely supporter of the channel, great friend, and just, talking about these things. And I'm like, these things hurt so bad. It's the pressure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going on with you, Karen. Hold on 1 second. Let me get over here and see what we can do. Yeah. And just to be honest with you, Karen, I pulled back a lot of wrenches because of all the stuff that was going on. I was a little concerned, didn't want it to affect the channel. I didn't, just precautionary stuff, as you can imagine. I don't want to get into it because I just feel like it's fruitless. So let me, there you are. There you go. I just didn't know. I didn't know who's who. Okay, my membership has disappeared. There you go. I think we got you taken care of. Oh, you should be able to drop it. So, yeah. For those that want to be here as partners and want to join monthly to help contribute on a monthly basis to this channel, please join in this channel as a monthly member. There's 4 different membership options. We try to make it affordable and easy for you guys to support us every way possible. For those that just, can't monetarily support us, you really can. You know how you do it? Go back and watch some of my previous videos. Watch the ads. That's what helps us the most on this channel is the AdSense. The AdSense program really does help this channel more than you know. So this month, just to let you guys know, because I'm open and transparent, we have a rolling wish list. I just add stuff to it as the team needs it. And, as money comes in through sponsorships, through Venmo, PayPal, and things of that nature, as well as, I get my check from YouTube for the AdSense program. I'm purchasing stuff off that wish list. So one of the items was the chair. I was able to take, and I utilize every penny of the money that I get from AdSense to help this channel grow. So I bought this chair because my other chair was killing my back. Next month, I'm getting the cell phone as well as the drone for Olivia. So if you guys would like to crowdfund for that or sponsor that in any way, shape, or form, 100% of the PayPal um, revenue is going toward that, the wish list items. That's going to be our crowdfunding kind of conglomerate. Now, if you do go to Venmo or PayPal or Cash App, please just say drone or whatever. I will make sure that it is applied to that. Just to let you know, and all the merch, just to let you know, the merch that is bought on the site, like the coffee club stuff, that actually is deposited into PayPal. So every time you purchase something for yourself, it's actually going toward a wish list item. So it's really great. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. And anyways, without further ado, I did want to thank you. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel and like this show show today. It is great. Good morning. I'm seeing a lot of great people coming in here this morning. Don't forget, and the only requirement is to have a cup of coffee or a cup of joe. So if you guys don't drink caffeine, water will do. Water will do. So how is everybody doing this morning? Where are you guys from? What is your temperature like? I got to tell you, yesterday here in Florida, we were cold. I don't know what the temperature was, but I'm telling you, I was cold out there. You know, we went to several different places yesterday. We went to where Trayvon Martin, it was his birthday yesterday. You know, this is a case that traveled the world. It was the one case that kind of sparked this whole, you know, the atrocities that happened to African Americans across this country. This was a case where there was two minorities involved in this, one being a shooter, one being a dead 17-year-old boy. Nobody really knows what happened. I watched the case when I was younger. You know, this happened 10 years ago. So I was about 32 years old at the time. And I watched this case. I didn't, you know, I don't like getting into, you know, the issues and stuff like that. But I watched this case and I gotta say, it's one of those cases that kind of haunted me a little bit. Oh my goodness, 16 degrees in Connecticut, 30 degrees in Virginia. Oh, burr, burr, burr. Oh my goodness, burr, burr, burr. That is cold. I don't even know what it is here today. Let's look. Let's look, shall we? Bradenton weather. 55 degrees here this Sunday. 55 degrees. Still cold, still cold. 13 in Jersey, 14 in Idaho. Oh, like my bones are getting cold just hearing this. Well, the good news is I think by the grace of God. Oh, Karen, thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you very much. By the grace of God, I think so. Oh my goodness, 17 in Texas. I am glad. You guys know I went to Texas. 55 is warm. I know to the rest of the world, I bet you guys are wishing you guys were in Florida. Oh my gosh, 19 degrees in New York, 19 degrees in Maryland, my word, but 17 in Texas. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because many of you know I was just in Texas. In Texas, the day that I was there was warmer than Florida was. Mike, come to Florida. We want you here. The problem is here is so many people are flooding to Florida that we're having a major housing crisis here, right? And like prices of houses are just literally going through the roof, So it is cold. UK is cold too. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh, Jeep girl, 9 in Illinois. Below 5 degrees Celsius in Canada. Oh my. If many of you guys don't know, we have people from around the world that come here to watch the Bullhorn Betty channel. I'm so very thankful. I'm very blessed. You know, I always try to say that God leads the way. I really truly believe that. Many of you see the armor that he puts around me, especially over the last 30 days. You know, just how we walk through a lot of stuff. And it's never ending, and I'm very thankful to be here. I'm very thankful to be doing the kind of work that I'm doing. I love the support that I get from the community abroad. And so, anyways, without further ado, we'll just go through some of the stuff. So, as many of you guys know, Trayvon Martin, that was just a weird case. We had just came out with a stand your ground law that was signed into effect. And we're going to go probably go into another little sideline, a little bill that's going on here in Florida. We're going to talk a little bit about it too. So, it's just up. And of course, I knew, and I said this before, I told Jonathan, we're just going to take a little tangent here, that I knew Jim Boyd was behind it because I've been as many of you guys know, the whole thing with Kevin Van Osten Bridge, a county commissioner here. Well, lo and behold, one of his bessies, and he even works for in Jim Boyd's real estate office, is Kevin Van Osten Bridge. Guess who the co-sponsor of this protest bill here in Florida is? Wouldn't you know? It's Jim Boyd. Kind of funny how that works out, huh? Kind of funny how you work out. It's all about who you know. So we'll just see how this all rolls out, but we've read the bill. We've already, our gears are already turning. So if it is passed, we know what we're doing. They're never going to keep us down. And unfortunately, the First Amendment protects us quite a bit. So that's all I'm going to say for now. Thank you. Thank you. I know. And JB's talking about it. Of course, the face is on it as us. Like I am. Thank you, Karen. Love you. Love you and all your support. But, it's funny because our faces are on that. When they posted that out, it's Jonathan and my face out there in front of the laundry house. And guess what? The bill clearly says 3 or more people. Guess what? They had a picture of 2 freaking protesters. So that wouldn't even have applied to us in front of that house, right? It would have only applied to us if more people showed up. The majority of the time, as many of you know, it was Jonathan and I. So this stupid bill wouldn't even have applied to us with what we were doing. Seriously. Insanity. Politicians. You know what? You want to screw up something? Have a politician do it. You want to have problems? Let the government get involved. Sorry. Sorry, guys. It's the truth. True story. I guess Kevin Van Osten Bridge didn't like the idea of me protesting in front of his house, so he called his friend. Oh my God. Andrew, come here. We got to do something. Little man syndrome. Okay, I'm done with that. Poking fun. Got worried that I was going to use my platform to politically burn down his political house. I'm an arsonist. Seriously. I don't even think Kevin believed that. I know Kevin didn't believe that because I've had so many conversations with him. Okay, I'm getting off the political subject. It just really, really frustrates me. I got to tell you, it really does. Thank you, love. Thank you for becoming a member. We love new members. Thank you. So getting back, we decided, the crazy thing is with the whole Trayvon Martin thing, like we had planned on going there. I had no idea the day, this is how God works. Okay. Like I had no idea the day that we were going to cover Trayvon Martin was his birthday. We had an idea, we were going out there with the search for paolamiranda. And we're like, okay, well, we designated the 2 days. And then Jonathan, we knew had to leave Friday night. He was flying to a different state on Saturday. So he left Friday after we were done with the search. We would not go out in those woods without Jonathan. I mean, Jonathan, one, he's the only male on the team. 2, he is our navigational beacon. He really helps us. And 3, we just feel much safer having Jonathan with us when we're out in that swamp. I'm sorry, we just do. Call us crazy, but Jonathan has proven himself time and time again that those types of situations we don't want to get ourselves into without having Jonathan. Just that extra mind really does help. And I'm telling you, we did get turned around in that swamp the very first time we went out there. So it was the Thursday before we left for Texas. We went out there and did our first search, as many of you guys know. And we didn't have our wading gear on. So this next trip, which contributed to those nice, beautiful blisters that you see on the bottom of my feet. And, I just, we had decided, what can we discuss, on the way back from the cabin we were staying in. What can we go and do while we're in Orlando, in the Orlando area? And so a couple things that came to mind was the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case, the Pulse Nightclub. And while we were, at those 2 locations, we get a call and it's like, we've been monitoring this Anthony Todd case. He massacred his entire family. And so, we were leaving Pulse Nightclub and we thought, well, let's go over there. I mean, he was supposed to have gone to court on January 24th and it was postponed and it was pushed back to April 4th. It's a relevant case. It's still going on. Good morning, Ronnie girl. Glad to see you here in person and live. It's great, great, great. My friend from Washington State. So at any rate, it's just crazy that these things have gone on, and to think that, you forget some of these things like the Pulse nightclub. I know in that community, they'll never forget because of that beautiful memorial. But many of us forget that that was a terrorist attack. That Pulse nightclub was a terrorist attack in our backyard here in Florida. And it's crazy. So anyways, we went to Trayvon Martin and then, I never really made a position on that case, ever made a position on that case until we got out there yesterday. And, like many things, you read about it in the newspaper, you see the stuff on TV, and you make a preliminary determination of your position maybe then. So maybe 10 years ago, I had a preliminary position on what I thought happened, whatever. But getting out there and kind of tracing the steps of Trayvon Martin and the steps of George Zimmerman, I'm scratching my head and saying, how is this a stand your ground law? Like, first of all, Trayvon's walking by himself with a bag of Skittles and an Arizona tea, okay, minding his own business. And some guy is hollering from his truck on the other side and approaching this 17-year-old boy. So he's actually, while one person's walking home, this person's walking up to question him. And so we went through some scenarios of, how would we react if some stranger came up and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Who the heck are you? And why is that any of your damn business?" Right? And you guys know I have a pop mouth. So my mouth will be popping off. Somebody's disturbing my peace while I'm walking back with a bag of Skittles, minding my own business. So it makes you wonder who was truly the aggressor in that scenario, and of course we look at some of Trayvon Martin's past. He did have some, in all fairness, he did have some school issues. So did I. He was suspended for 10 days for having a marijuana pipe and some marijuana residue in a bag. Like, he didn't even have like a bowl pack. He didn't have marijuana, buds or anything in this bag. It was just residue. It was just probably little crumbs that were sticking to the side of the bag. And he got suspended for 10 days, which, at school, there's a no zero tolerance policy for a reason, right? So anybody with that kind of, you shouldn't be bringing that crap to school. Do I really care about marijuana? Honestly, I really don't. I really don't. I don't. There's enough scientific evidence to prove that marijuana is can be used for a multitude of different things. So no, do I really care? No. Do I use it? I do not. But do I care if somebody else does? No, I don't. In the grand scheme of things, I don't. Okay. I mean, heroin, crack, cocaine, other illicit drugs that are more addictive and stuff. Yeah, I do. I would be a little more concerned, but marijuana, I'm not concerned about. I'm just going to be on the record for that. I don't care. I really don't care about marijuana. I don't really even really consider it a real drug. So, to be honest with you, because it's grown naturally throughout the world. It was the government that extinguished it. It was, you know what I'm saying? They're the ones that made it this criminal thing. It's an herb. You know, look up the definition of what an herb is. So it's an herb. At the end of the day, so I really don't care about marijuana. But it didn't seem like any of this stuff that he had going on in his life was violent. Violent. Um, and he was unarmed. At the end of the day, he was unarmed. So what threat did he really pose to George Zimmerman for him to stand his ground? What threat? If George Zimmerman had just left the boy alone, not approached him, not acted, and you got to think a guy with a gun, he's the neighborhood watch. So, all these things are kind of, but when you're starting to see where he came from, where he went, like this guy's coming this way, he's going down, he's right here, this other guy's following him. So he's actually following him, gets him here and starts questioning him. Something ensues, whether he told him to go F off and, the either way, to me, after seeing the steps and everything, it's hard for me to think that it wasn't George Zimmerman being the aggressor. And, maybe the kid said, go F yourself. And George was just not having it. I don't know. Nobody will ever know. I just personally don't see how that was a stand your ground, um, uh, defense. I just don't see it. You're not on your property. You're walking up to the kid. You're the one questioning the kid. What reason did you have to question that child? It was none of your damn business what he was doing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I find a lot of people now that we have these medical marijuana cards are a little more, open, which is good. A lot of people had to be very secretive. You're not alone, right? That's the crux of what the Bullhorn Betty show is all about, right? You're not alone. You're not alone with domestic violence. You're not alone being uh, a victim of anything. You're not alone. There's so many other people out there. We try to help and bring to light a lot of different things. Whether people believe the truth or not, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It didn't happen the way it was supposed to. So, at any rate, it was just sad, and I felt very emotional while I was out there. I really did. I felt very, very emotional walking back to the car because I think, in all honesty, 10 years ago, my perception of that case was different. My perception of that case was different. I really, truly believe that. Do I remember what I was thinking at the time? No, of course not. But I have to say, I believe my perception has changed because I didn't understand what actually happened. So now that I was out there and walked the steps, not only of Trayvon Martin, but of George Zimmerman, I don't understand how he could have used the defense of stand your ground. I don't. That area, nice. It was a nice apartment complex. I got to be honest with you. It's a nice apartment complex, but not something that a millionaire would live in. Olivia was looking up, just looking up who George Zimmerman is, what he's done. The man has made millions. His net worth is worth $10 million. That turned my stomach. This poor boy is dead, and George Zimmerman became a millionaire. And that's the hardest part about it. I'd like to see if George has donated any money to people of violence. I'd like to see what he's done with his newfound fame and finances. To think that a 17-year-old boy never gets to go home to his parents again, and this man is walking free. He was exonerated in a court of law. He had due process, guys. So, obviously people, the jurors believed that he was innocent, and that stand your ground applied. So who am I to sit here? He went through the due process. It's just sad. I'm just saying my opinion that I don't understand how that could have applied. That is a good question. That would make my blood boil. Boil. You know what? Tennessee better make a protest law. They better start working on it now. I would be willing to go to jail. Hell, I'm even willing to go to jail for this new protest law. Lock me up. Then the people can really have something to talk about, huh? So, yes, we heard some misinformation yet again across, across the news, on the social media news. I have to be I'm very careful about what I say anymore. So, and how I say it. So, yes, I checked it. I've been hearing people say, oh, they pushed Don Wells' case back and this, that, and the other. No, they didn't. I went on there last night. I looked at the court records. The court records still have him going to court February 7th at 1 p.m. So if you guys are in the Rogersville, Hawkins County area and you want to do something, you probably won't be able to go inside the courtroom, but you can make signs and hold them outside the courtroom. You can do that. Exercise your First Amendment rights. Peacefully protest. It will be on public property, on government property. And guess what? You own the government property. I know. And that's another thing. Like, it's irritating. It's so irritating with this. And it's like, I feel so bad. And so we pray tribute. If many of you guys haven't seen on my channel, I did upload a video. It's just a short video of me talking about that. We actually stood outside of that apartment complex. A neighbor graciously allowed us to come into the apartment complex and allowed us to do our taping. So it was I'm very thankful to that person. So if they watch the show, thank you very much for letting us go in. But it does have a gated community. I mean, it's a gated community. So my question is how in the world George thought he was suspect? He profiled that kid, period. Yeah, we're going to go into that in just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are talking about Don Wells. I don't know either. And actually, we're going to go back over this. I mean, we still have this, right? We went over this already. Look at that. Tennessee Department of Children's Services right there. The work aid. So at any rate, please go and, actually, I'll just play it here. You guys can watch the commercials with me. You guys can watch the commercials with me. Let me go to my videos. It's just a little 4-minute video. Why not? You guys are here. Oh, I'm on the right. Oh, I think I'm in my.
Question. Would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million users using? Hello all, this is Andra, aka Bullhorn Betty. We are here at the retreat at Twinkle Lakes at Sanford. Today is Trayvon Martin's 26th birthday. It is February 5th, 2022. On February 26th, 2012, Trayvon Martin was coming back from the 7-Eleven store, and George Zimmerman approached him, wanting to know what he was doing. An altercation ensued, and George Zimmerman ended up shooting Trayvon Martin, which was 17 at the time. So we are here just showing our respects for Trayvon Martin today that marks his 26th birthday, and we will be following this case. We're going to read.
In true Bullhorn Betty fashion, if you want to watch the rest of it, please go to the channel and watch it. So, yes, we did. We were out there. That was where the case did happen. So, you know, it's sad. It's just really, really, really sad. So we're going to move past that. You know, happy birthday, Trayvon Martin. It was great to be out there on his birthday. And again, that was not planned. That was not planned. And we had, we found out literally sitting in the front of that, getting ready for me to do that recording. And I looked down and it was like February 5th, 26 years old. What's this? And I popped in there. I'm like, what's Trayvon Martin's birthday? February 5th. February 5th. So he would have actually been 26 years old yesterday, celebrating his birthday. So that means he was gunned down shortly after his 17th birthday. So he was just barely over 17 years old. So it was just sad. It was just a sad day. I didn't realize that. And I didn't realize I would be as emotional as I was over Trayvon Martin. And, and quite frankly, George Zimmerman has had many legal battles. One, I guess somebody tried to kill him, you know, and the person that tried to kill him or said he was going to kill him was, oh, wow, new case. I'll have to look into that. I'm going to keep you up for just a second. Does Hunter have braces? I didn't see any braces on Hunter. If he has them now, he might. So, I didn't realize it was that long ago. I know, it's time flies. So, yeah, Trayvon Martin, that was one of the other cases that we went. Now, another case that we did, and I was trying to get it up. So I don't know. I got the dates a little backwards. No, he doesn't have braces, Roswell Baby says. Was the Pulse Nightclub. You know, the Pulse Nightclub was really sad. And I would play the video on here, but I've got to change the background music on it. I go to some free sites and get some, but I'm supposed to give them acknowledgement. And when I posted the video last night, I forgot to put the acknowledgements in and it was hit for copyright. So I took it down. And I will be changing the music in there and properly putting the notations of who the people are that provided the background music. But that will be forthcoming. It was a beautiful tribute that we did in front of Pulse Nightclub yesterday. And it was, again, another jerk in the whole heartstrings because good morning, Truth Teller. Nice to see you. Yes. Good morning. But it was just nice. It was nice. So we're happy, you know, that memorial is still up there. We are blessed that memorial is still up there. Sorry, guys. I'm still having allergy issues from being out in that wilderness. My allergies this time of year, this cold, it does a number to me. And not only that, but we've been in cold weather I don't think we have stopped being in cold weather since like October of last year. You know, we went to Utah and Wyoming. It was freezing. Come back, go to Tennessee, come back, go back to Tennessee, come back, go to Louisiana, come back, go to Texas, come back. And now we were in the Orlando, Osceola, Orange County, Osceola County area. So for those that are just joining, please go get your cup of joe or your tea. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Many of you guys didn't see, I've got huge blisters. I showed everybody my huge blisters on my feet. They hurt. I got to say. I couldn't handle the pressure anymore. And as many of you guys know, sometimes it's just easier to go through the day of pain and pop it than it is to keep walking on the pressured blister. So that's what I did before I went to bed last night, is I popped my blisters, and that was painful. But I got to say, it feels much better. They're still hurt. They hurt bad, but not near as bad as being filled with fluid. I'm sorry. It is like right there on the big toe. You don't realize how much of those feet pad you use, but you don't walk without them. It hurts. It hurts so bad. For those that are just joining, and let me just show you what I am talking about. Hold on. What am I doing here? So documents. Let's open in Finder. Yes, yes, yes. It's got to pop over to the other screen. Oh, of course. There are my poor little feet. Those are the blisters on my poor little feet. They hurt so bad. Those are nickel size blisters, and it's not on just one foot. It is on both feet. I wish these things would quit popping over here to the other side and pop up on. There they are. That is what I did to myself looking for paolamiranda rosa out there in the swamp. I think those came from the gear, and you can see how red my poor little feet are. Like, my poor feet are just red. My feet are not this red. So for those, my feet are usually this color back here on the bottoms. These are red feet. These are totally red feet. They're still red feet to this day. But that is the feet. That is my poor little feet. So those people that want to say that, I could have done that in my sleep, you guys don't understand. You know, when you have those things, I had to literally walk 5 miles with my feet like that. 5 miles. Talk about having to be in the zone mentally, because it hurt so bad. Every step I took hurt, and I just had to keep walking, because there was no way to get back to the vehicle without just walking. You had to walk. And they hurt so bad. Taking my shoes off at that point, it would have hurt 10 times worse. Walking over rocks, I had to just keep my shoes on and just keep walking. And it was like, ow, ow, ow. I was in complete agony for at least 2 solid hours. It was longer than that. But 2 solid hours was the absolute most unbearable. And it was like, you know, the trail just almost seemed unending, trying to get back to the vehicle. Nobody knows. Everybody, everybody was in the same boat, baby. No, everybody was in the same boat. But I was the one with the worst feet problem. I'm the one that came back with the actual blisters. Everybody's feet hurt, but I don't think anybody else had blisters like I did. I had it the worst. So, but we were all in the same boat. All of our feet hurt so bad. Oh, no. They're actually feeling better. Like I said, as disgusting as it sounds, as I've already popped the blisters. They're already healing. So thank you. It was just brutal. The feet still hurt. It's probably going to take, a little minute. I'm keeping off of them. I'm not doing anything today. I'm going to be, I got paperwork I've got to take care of today. Lots and lots of paperwork that needs to be taken care of today. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing research, taking care of paperwork, looking into other stuff. Oh, crap. That reminds me. I was supposed to write that name down. Can somebody just talked about, let me see if I can go back up. Hold on a second. Cassie info. So it was you, Charlotte. Cassie info and Samika Sheriff's Department in Google on. There's a reward still. As many of you know, our team is never and has never been about the reward. If we ever did find someone, that reward money would go to their family. We don't play around. We are not donating it to a nonprofit. We're not doing anything. It goes to the family of the victims. Except, even with Summer Wells, that money, we would want that to go to the boys. We would want that money to go, definitely not the parents. Not after what they've done to those children. But Charlotte, can you give me, never mind, I found it. Cassie Cole. Let me just pull this up. Let me write this down, because if I don't write it down, I will, as soon as I'm off here, it'll be out of sight, out of mind. So Cassie Cole, hold on a second. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I know a lot of people have been talking about that Shane McLaughlin kid. You know, we haven't started looking into that, but I can tell you that is on my list. I know, many of you guys know one of my goals this year is to bring somebody home, and not just bring somebody home, but to bring somebody home alive. That is a goal. A lot of people, want monetary success. People can define success in a multitude of ways. Success to me this year would be bringing somebody home, and bringing somebody home alive. And that is my goal. That is what I plan on, doing. That's going to be the goal. Everything that we go after is going to be to bring somebody home, obviously. And to bring somebody home alive would be the ultimate goal for 2022. So that is the goal. Okay. That is my personal goal for Bullhorn Betty. So getting on, Pulse Nightclub, sad. Let's just go through that. So, June 12th, June 11th, the night before, because June 12th is when the shots ran out. June 12th around 2:02 a.m. June 11th, they were having a Latin night at the Pulse Nightclub. Pulse Nightclub is a well-known LGBTQ type of establishment. And people love, there's very limited places that, the LGBTQ community can go. That's really predominantly for them. This was one of those things. This was one of those establishments. And, there was a lot of stuff going on overseas at the time in 2012. And one of them was Abu Wahib, I think it was his name, something like that, was murdered by us, the U.S., the United States of America, the USA. And this gentleman that was born here, he was born in New Hyde, New York, but was of Muslim descent, and took it upon himself to go into the Pulse nightclub, which, if I recall, I didn't read this yesterday, but I recall from the stuff that happened in 2012. This marks the 10-year anniversary. 2012 is 2022, so June of this year will again mark the 10-year anniversary of this case. And he walked in there, and apparently there was only, I think, one way out, and that was through the front doors. The back doors were locked or something to that effect. I don't recall the cases exactly. Many of the people that survived played dead on the floor, and this person was in there to kill literally everyone. 49 people lost their lives. He called the sheriff's office while he was in there and basically told them that this was because of that. This was a domestic terrorist attack. The FBI flagged this as a terrorist attack. The Pulse nightclub was a terrorist attack. And 49 people lost their lives in there. 53 people were wounded. I always say more than 53 people were wounded because of the psychological damage of the unwounded. The people that weren't shot, they still had lifelong lasting damages that they will live for the rest of their life. I'm sure PTSD is prevalent in many of those. So this was one of the most horrific things that we had witnessed here in Florida, in that I can ever recall. And actually, as I'm talking about it, I'm literally getting goosebumps because it was, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see those, but I'm like literally getting goosebumps on my arms right now talking about it. It was just that bad. So we got an opportunity to go out there and pay our respects and really capture that. I know Olivia is going to be working on a beautiful type of documentary on that. It's going to be like a short video. I've got about, I think mine was about 7 minutes, short video. it was just sad. It's just sad that this world just seems so filled with hate anymore. There's not enough love. We try to bring love into the world, and we try to do good, and we really do work hard to try to do good. And we walk through a lot of fire, as many other people that try to do good do, right? But we keep going. We keep going. And this is just another act of evil perpetrated upon this country and upon the state of Florida. And I had never had an opportunity to visit the Pulse Nightclub before. And I just have to say, there was an interview that I got when I was over at right across the street from the Pulse Nightclub is a Dunkin' Donuts. And a lady's like, I really don't like it. I would kind of think that, like when the Twin Towers went down, they did this beautiful memorial. I would have kind of liked it. And I'm just thinking, there's beautiful faces all over these walls there. I don't think you can put that in a little artistic memorial. It just doesn't have the same impact. It just doesn't. It was beautiful. It was thoughtful, and I'm very thankful that the owner of that club, turned it into a memorial. And I hope that if you guys are wanting to sponsor something of good, that Pulse Nightclub, they have a nonprofit, you do support that. So it was very, very, very sad, on June 12th, 2016. Oh, no, it's not marking the 10-year anniversary. It was 2016. I thought it was 2012, 2016. So we're up about, what is that, 6 years? 6 years. Yeah, 6 years ago. So Omar Mateen, a 29-year-old man, killed 49 people and wounded 53 more in a mass shooting at the Pulse, a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida. So Mateen was actually shot and killed after a shootout with a cop after a 3-hour standoff with them. So, yeah. So it was just it's something that rocked our nation. This was a worldwide event that happened in our own backyard here in Florida, in Orlando. So it was sad. It was sad. So from there, as many of you guys know, I've already put it up. If you guys haven't seen it, it was about it's about Anthony Todd. This is an active, ongoing case. This is a gentleman that massacred his entire family, literally wiped out his entire family, and then lived with the bodies in a room for weeks with them decaying. One son was almost mummified. This guy was a sick puppy. He went off the deep end. After looking into this, I realized that he was under federal fraud charges. I have to assume his family knew nothing about this. And this was all about to start coming out. And he freaked. He was about to be exposed to his entire family as being a fraud, their lifestyle a fraud. They were about to lose every single thing and be put out on the streets. And he kept it in until he just couldn't keep it in any longer. And he went off the reservation, wiped out his entire family, including the family dog, Breezy. His children. Which one? Oh, here it is. Just to get through some of the stuff. Yeah. So Anthony Todd was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder charges, 1 count of animal cruelty in January 2020 killing of his wife, Megan, and their children. Their 3 children. Megan was 42 years old. Their 3 children, Alec, 13 at the time, Tyler, 11, and a beautiful girl, Zoe, 4 years old. 4 years old. And of course, he killed his dog, Breezy, as well. His trial was actually just set for January 24th of this year, just, I don't know, a couple weeks back. And it was postponed to April 4th. Apparently, his lead defense attorney suddenly passed. He suddenly passed, and that's what got him that break to have that. Uh, but they also indicated that that was not the only reason. So apparently, at the last hearing he had, he was supposed to attend by video. So he goes to a room, like probably at the jail in a private room where he's got a computer kind of like this, but it's probably more secure. It's not a laptop. And he couldn't attend because he himself had been very, very ill, supposedly. I don't know if he was in, the medical ward of the prison or what was going on. But his court case was delayed to April 4th. That is a case that I think I want to be in attendance to. I don't know how to do that, what to do, but this is a family massacre. And I remember talking about this. I forgot the details of this case because it did happen several years ago. And when Olivia and I were talking about it, it's like, the only time I ever hear about these, family massacres usually have a financial tie to them. So it's like their financial world has been rocked and they're about to lose everything. And they don't want to be a disappointment to their family. So they wipe their whole family out. It's insane. It's sick. It's absolutely sick. So, that is what it is. So let me see if I got some. I know I got some stuff on here that I sent to Olivia, and I want to see if, some of the stuff. Yeah, I don't know what these are. Yeah, I do have some stuff in here, but it's just now, I just uploaded it, Pulse Nightclub. So, let me just go and I'll show you. Let me share my screen. Just some of the stuff that this is Pulse Nightclub. This is the stuff that happened after the shooting. People came together from all over the world, all over the country to pay tribute to, the Pulse nightclub. So again, I had an opportunity to show at least some of the stuff, pay tribute to them. So, just wanted to show that. Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't keep me a secret. We cover a lot of true crime cases. Right now, we are on anthonytodt. And then we're going to go over to some other stuff. Many of you guys are here and found me because of either Gabby Petito and the Brian Laundrie case or because of the Summer Wells case. And there was a lot of upsetting, things that upset me about Summer Wells, right? A lot. So one is this whole neglect thing. Like, I can't understand, what in the world TBI is thinking. I really don't. Or Hawkins County for that matter. I really don't. I don't know. What channel is that? Emma, that was me. That was my recording. It's not on a channel. I did send that. What you were looking at is Telegram because I send all my footage over to Olivia. She takes some of the footage and uses it for those beautiful documentaries. As many of you guys know, our team, we're always recording. Every member, I think the only person that doesn't have a camera in their hand is Mom. And Olivia, Jonathan, and myself always are recording everything most of the time. Like, even out in the swamp, I got to be honest with you, the last thing I really cared about was recording. I did record some, especially the first day. I did record more than I did the second day because the second day was, that other side over at the on the Rock Springs State Park side, that was rougher terrain. I have to say that was absolutely rougher terrain. So, before we get started on that, I did want to say on paolamiranda, this was not a well-known case. This was not a well-known case at all. Hardly any media attention to the case. Nobody even hardly knew who Paola Miranda was. Let's see. I can just, where is my TikTok? So, okay, there we are. Sorry, let me. Sorry. You guys can't hear that, but I can. I don't know how to turn the. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So let me go over here. I wanted to tell you, people want to know what we do in these cases, and how do we help these cases. A lot of people don't realize that prior to coming over to YouTube, we were TikTokers. TikTok support is what took us that funded our trip to Moab, Utah, to cover Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner and go out there and find where Gabby Petito was. We had no sponsorship whatsoever from YouTube at the time to go out there. TikTok and TikTok followers are the ones that sponsored those trips for us to, do this. This was long before we ever even considered coming on YouTube and bringing these cases to YouTube. So, this is, let me just bring this up. So Olivia, obviously has 1.2, she's been on TikTok a lot longer than I have ever dreamed of. So 1.2 million followers. Okay, this is what we do. Open this up a little bit better. So we've got a huge following on here. So, we bring awareness. We use the platforms that we can to get reach, to bring attention to these cases. And we use TikTok to do it in most cases. So we're the cases that we follow and bring to light go viral. This is one of them that has, I don't know, we go viral on TikTok. 2.1 million views. So that's one. We have another one. I think it's on our backup. It is ready. It's about, if it hasn't already, it will be hitting over 10 million views. 10 million views. So we bring, we do our best to bring awareness to these cases. Another one with 1 million, another one with 3.1 million. Views. You guys go over to TikTok and check it out. It's Chronicles of Olivia and Chronicles of Olivia Backup. So, and here it is. This is the one. I have to be careful because they allow us to, TikTok has its own music that they're allowed to use. And sometimes it'll trigger a copyright on YouTube. So, again, this is what we bring to the table. We bring exposure. So our work, 9.8 million views on a case that nobody knew about. Nobody knew about. Media was barely covering it. We went out there not only to help and aid in the search, but to bring awareness to the case, for people to start looking for Paola themselves, for people to start reaching out to people and saying, hey, do you have any camera footage, any videos? Were you in the area at the time? This is what we do. This is why we do what we do. We've been viral on TikTok so many times, it's not even funny for the work that we do. Millions upon millions of people have seen our faces collectively. When I was covering the Gabby Petito case, literally 80 million, there was one video that had 25 or 30 million views. It was on a different channel. It's sad because they stole Olivia's stuff and used it on their channel. But either way, It got over 25 to 30 million views. So we try to bring awareness to these cases. We try to bring attention to these cases. We try to get as much exposure, maximum amount of exposure to these cases. And again, Paolamiranda hardly even talked about in the media. Nobody even knew her face. And now we have over 12 million people that have been able to hear about Miranda, know that she's missing, know where she went missing at, know that there's a possibility she could have been abducted, that foul play could have been involved. And we have now brought maximum amount of exposure to her case. That is what we do. And so, again, another tribute to Chronicles of Olivia. Even on my page, of course, I don't get that kind of recognition or attention on my own one. I only have 68. My channel is still growing. TikTok is always growing. 68,000 followers at this point on my TikTok page. You know, I get 25, 30, 40,000 views on my page. And, you know, so we're still bringing awareness, not to the millions of views that we get on Chronicles of Olivia's page, but definitely we spread our net large and wide. So, and obviously we do the same here on YouTube, just not at that large of viewership, but we've been on TikTok for a little minute as opposed to YouTube. So at any rate, you know, once again, our team goes viral on TikTok, as we usually do when we take on cases. But people always said that, you know, we went viral because it was a high profile case, right? This shows you right there, you don't need a high profile case to bring awareness to it. And you don't need a high profile case to go viral on TikTok. You just need to bring a beautiful message and expose what, you know, is going on. There is a missing person out in Osceola County. She was last seen in the waters. You know, was she abducted? Did she fall ill? Did she have a, you know, get disoriented? Was it a gator attack? You know, so we are very, very blessed to be able to bring this social media, you know, our personalities to TikTok and help these families and get their faces. A lot of the times it's just exposing these people's faces to people. You know, a lot of people aren't watching the news, but they are on TikTok. They are on YouTube, and we are able to put the victim's face in front of millions of people. And that is truly what it's all about. And then for us to get our team together and to suit up and go out there and actually search, you know, not just sit behind the computer, but actually go and be a part of the search, go out there and help the family. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. And I love the fact that we all love being out there in the field. You know, we love being out there in the field. Is it rough? Is it hard? You guys see my feet. Are you kidding me? I'm in agony. I was in agony out there, but we persevered. We pushed through the pain and we kept looking. We covered collectively 80 miles. 80 miles. We did over 20 miles each. I don't even want to know, you know, what that is square, right? Because it was square miles. We had our walkie-talkies, we spread out, we looked in areas, but we all did over 20 miles. That's a collective 80 miles of searching. 80 square miles of searching we covered. We were able to check those areas off the map. Was she there? No. Did we see any signs of her? No. Did we see any articles of clothing? No. But sometimes it's just checking the areas off the map. We went on the other side. That was brutal. We went in the water. We talked to kayakers. We talked to those boards where you stand up on a row. I don't know what they're called. Probably something like. But, you know, we did our part. We did our part. We checked off areas that had not been searched. We went into some of the worst terrain, and, you know, we could have been, you know, bitten by poisonous snakes. I mean, that was the kind of terrain we were in. We could have met a panther, coyote, something like a fox. We put ourselves and our lives in danger when we go out there in these fields and in these swamps looking for people, guys. This is not a joke. It's not a game for us. We are out there searching. We are hoping to find her. We are hoping to find her, something of her, just to say she was here, just to say this is where she was. There is a real paddleboard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Felicity. Thank you. That's exactly it. Paddleboard and kayakers. And just like her sister said, you go out there every day and you're hoping today's going to be the day that you find something. And there's nothing. There's just nothing. And when we got to, I can't remember what campground it was on the other side, a nice lady was there and, she had some snacks and stuff. She fed, we were exhausted. And she started telling us, she was on the kayak and she started telling us that, yeah, she had just passed some 12, 14-foot alligators. Those are massive gators in that water. Massive. These are not 4, 6-foot, 7-foot alligators. These are 10 to 14-foot alligators. And that's the ones they saw. So it is a real possibility that she was just snatched up. In the area, we don't know how far down that river she went. We saw her walking that way. That was it. We don't know how far she went. Did she get in alligator infested water? Where she was, where that picture was taken, there are literally hardly any wildlife around there. She was safe if she would have stayed in that area. So, yeah, I got to say, it's just heartbreaking because, it makes you wonder. And especially her sister kept saying she never leaves her phone, and I'm curious to find out if that Wakiwa app is in her phone. It's this app that gives you the trails in that area. And a lady was pointing that out to us. So if we have that app, if she has that app on her phone, then yes, she will, if she has that app on her phone, then yes, she most likely had she had her phone with her at the time, which would be an indicator that she may have made it back to her vehicle after she left, after that video from the hikers were taken. We need to find out. But we were disoriented out there. So there was the real possibility. We went out there thinking, okay, yeah, it was a gator, we went through all this list of what it could be. If I got the right notebook, I'll tell you what it is. This one's not the right one. Is this one the right one? We went out and we jotted down what the real possibilities. I got so many notebooks. I need to condense and quit using so many. And it was like, alligator, other animal out there, snake bite, disorientation, illness, injury, abduction. There was just a laundry list of things, and we were trying to exclude them. But everything that we were considering in most cases was that she was there in the park. We haven't really explored her leaving the park. We never really explored that because her vehicle was there. So that might be the next step, is just exploring, that. Anyways, moving on. I wanted to talk about this, and then we'll go into this. So this is a mom of missing 4-year-old. She was charged with murder and cruelty to children after authorities discovered human remains. Okay, this is a more recent updated article about this case. Beautiful baby right there. This happened in Georgia. Okay, folks, this right here happened in Georgia. Sorry, let me get over here. And what they did is, when she reported her son missing, they did a preliminary investigation, went back and handcuffed her right away for child abuse charges, cruelty to children, and put her butt in jail. Immediately. Next day, they found her beautiful son a county over. Of course, he did not survive, but they did find him immediately. Georgia Bureau of Investigations did not play. They didn't play. They went and shackled her butt up and threw her in jail. I bet you anything she realized this gig was up and decided to tell law enforcement where to find her son. Gig was up, right? This is very upsetting to me because this is exactly what should have happened in the Summer Wells case. Exactly what should have happened in the Summer Wells case. So a mother in Georgia is behind bars this week after authority accused her of killing her 4-year-old son, who was reported missing earlier this month. Kearacotton, 27, was taken into custody on Monday and now faces felony charges for alleged murder of, I can't pronounce, Jason Mathis, state's law enforcement. So she was actually, they put her in jail. Let me see if it, yeah. Okay, so here it is right here. Cotton was initially charged with 2 counts of cruelty to children, the GBI, that's Georgia Bureau of Investigation, announced on Twitter. Here is their, right there. There's their Twitter right there. Okay, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is what should have happened in the Summer Wells case. Their child went amiss. They did an investigation. They saw the living conditions of that child. Those parents should have been thrown in jail. Should have immediately been in handcuffs for animal cruelty, child cruelty, child abuse, child neglect, a number of other things. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you look at it, even if the child was abducted, which TBI has clearly said there's no evidence of that. Hawkins County said that there is no way that on 2 separate occasions that this child was abducted. I'm referring to Summer Wells. And you've got somebody like Georgia Bureau of Investigation saying, look, we're not going to have a Summer Wells style case. We're throwing her butt in jail. We're going to pressure her with every ounce of what we have in our disposal to find out where her son is so we can bring this case to a close. And guess what? They were successful. TBI, wake up. You need to learn a few things. Not only that. Same thing. In Virginia. Father of missing child, Cody Bigsby, admitted to leaving kids at home alone, court records show. This is in Virginia. The father of missing 4-year-old Cody Bigsby admitted to investigators he left his 4 children home alone on several occasions in the past, including as recently as January 25th, records show. In addition, 4-year-old Cody, who still hasn't been found after being reported missing on Monday, January 31st, Corey Bigsby, his father, also has a 5-year-old child and 2 2-year-old twins, right? This man left at home for hours on end 4 children under the age of 5. 5 or under. That is sick. How can you be a single parent and not have somebody to call to come watch your children? Right? But again, Virginia Bureau of Investigation, not playing with this father. Threw his butt in jail. He is going to jail. He is in jail. He's not getting out of jail. His kids are now out of his custody. Still haven't found the 4-year-old child yet. I'm sure they're searching for the child. But Corey Bigsby is behind bars. Not playing. So then you come back to TBI and wonder what in the world is going on. TBI I'm losing faith in. They're becoming what not to do in missing children cases. They are becoming the spectacle of the world. Spectacle of the world. You want to know what not to do in a missing child investigation? Look at the Summer Wells case. Way to go, TBI. Something to be known for. Hawkins County, something to be known for. Despicable. Despicable. I am upset. I don't know if it's the law enforcement I should be upset with, or if it's the state attorney that I should be upset with. Do something. Is it the state attorney saying, hey, TBI, we can't arrest them? We need to build this case bigger. Get off your duff, state attorney. You got something there with teeth. Use it. It's unrelated to her disappearance. You can charge him. This idea that you have to wait until you have all your investigative stuff to charge him with one crime is ridiculous. Unrelated crimes you can still charge him with without screwing up your investigation related to the charges for Summer Wells and her disappearance. Right? Show me a law in Tennessee that tells us that if you have unrelated charges, you have to wait until another case is resolved to bring these other charges. I said this before many times. We sat down with the Hawkins state attorney, district attorney, the assistant district attorney there, and she basically said the same thing. Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to get a nice, put them all together and just charge them all at once, make it nice. Look, you don't need to do that. You guys look like idiots and fools. You look like idiots and fools. Hawkins County, what gives here? You guys are looking like the spectacle. You got Georgia showing you up. You got Virginia showing you up. They're showing you how these types of investigations should be done. And you guys are too stupid or too blind to acknowledge it. It's sad. We went over this the other day. I hope you guys go back and, check out that live. We went through this and we went through all these things. I know. It's asinine. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Right here, TBI, Hawkins County, District Attorney, CPS. Here you go, right here. This is all you need. This is all you need, babies. It's all you need. Now we're holding our breath, hoping the judge throws them in jail for violation of probation. What is wrong with you people? I feel like it's a third world country in Tennessee. Where's the law and order? A 5-year-old child is dead and presumed dead and missing. Most of these people have children themselves. You guys are looking like idiots and fools that don't know what you're doing. Georgia knows what they're doing. Florida knows what they're doing. You think they would be waiting? Heck no. Virginia knows what they're doing. Tennessee, not so much. Not so much. I can tell you that I believe it doesn't matter. It's a 5-year-old child. It doesn't matter. This idea, this ludicrous idea that you need to have a body to start charging people is insanity. I don't know where the attorneys got their law license. Did you guys get them out of a bubblegum machine? Idiots. Idiots. I back the blue, and this is the most. I mean, it's egregious at this point, right? You got law enforcement up there several times since Summer has gone amiss, and Don Wells still hasn't gone to jail. It's like his probation officer, Danny Henry. When we went up there to see him, he's like, well, we already got this one violation of probation, and he's going to go to the court. It's like, but he has multiple violations of probation. Not just one, multiple. You're his probation officer. Why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you violating him? Multiple violations. Well, you guys can go to the state attorney, and if the state attorney wants to bring them up, we go to the right to the state attorney. Well, as a probation officer is the one that's supposed to bring those. Yes, we do. But he just sent us over here to you. Oh, of course he did. Got it on tape. Got it on tape. Sure starting to feel like it. I've been keeping their back and saying, hey, maybe it's just lazy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't know what it is. But I can tell you, this is going from stupid to insane. So somebody had just suggested that we start going up the food chain. Senators, House of Representatives, the governor. And I'm thinking, yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a great idea. Yes, yes, and yes. So, I've got to figure out what to write, what to add. I think maybe filing complaints against a massive, around the world, people filing complaints about CPS or DCS in this case. I think we need to file complaints with the state against them because they need to be pushing for charges. We need to file, maybe the Tennessee. What is it? We have what do we have? The attorney. Why can't I think? We have a quality judicial review here in Florida. I'm wondering if they have quality judicial reviews there, to file complaints against the attorneys. Maybe we need to start filing complaints against the district attorneys. I mean, let's start figuring out how we can hold these people accountable. You don't want to do your job? Well, let's help you do your job. We've got a huge, massive following around the world for Summer's Army. Certainly, we can do something. Certainly, there's something to be done. Certainly. This is going crazy. So we've got Georgia Bureau of Investigations throwing people in jail when their children are missing because they realize that, children just don't go missing. Usually it's a neglect issue because normal parents don't have these problems. You lose your child in a store for 5 seconds, Normal people don't have, do parents go to the store and their kids are kidnapped? Absolutely. It does happen. It does happen. But most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't. Right? Cameras are literally everywhere. Cameras are literally everywhere. So we went over this, the DCS report. We went over the physical abuse, what physical abuse means. Did you know physical abuse means you even allowing somebody else to abuse your child and not stepping in, not intervening? You're considered, you're part of that abuse at that point. We talked about the drug exposure aspect. We all know that drug exposure was prevalent on that, and that includes alcohol and narcotics and marijuana. Environmental neglect, absolutely, with all that trash inside and outside of their home was environmental neglect. We know that Summer Wells was malnutritioned. These are all separate. These could all be separate charges. There could be multiple neglect charges against these parents. And TBI is sitting on their hands. Hawkins County is sitting on their hands. And DCS is sitting on their flipping hands doing absolutely nothing. Let them stay on top of the mountain. Let them continue beating the crap out of each other. And let them keep having happy hour every night of the week. Sick. Lack of supervision. Lack of supervision. Thank you for the money. Lack of supervision. Sexual abuse, we can't determine whether she was sexually abused, right? DCF was just getting involved and she disappeared. Psychological, yes. Domestic violence, yes. They can intervene for domestic violence. They've had years of domestic violence on top of that mountain. And DCS is just now getting involved. These parents should be in jail. What is going on in Tennessee? What is going on in Tennessee? Yep. Absolutely, she does. Absolutely, she does. It is so sad to me what is going on. It is absolutely, without a doubt, hands down, the saddest thing I have ever seen in my life. It really is. They are showing the world what not to do in a missing child case. They act like they don't know day from night. They act like they don't even know their own state laws and what they could charge with. This stupidity that you have to wait until till Summer's found or until they have enough proof that they did something with Summer, multiple counts of neglect and abuse, and you can charge them for past neglect and abuse. And if you don't even want to charge them with anything to do with Summer, them feeding Hunter drugs and alcohol is enough. That's completely unrelated to throw both of them in jail. Yeah, maybe we do need to, Amy. Amy's saying call the governor and DOJ. Hold on, let me get this name down real quick. And sorry, guys, I didn't have a chance to find. I know I'm trying to. Portland, Ohio. I got a friend in Ohio that could have probably. Okay. I'll have to look into that. Maybe we need to start exposing dirty cops and showing that how prevalent it is across the country. Maybe that'll jolt Roddy Lawson off his little tail end. For those that are watch here that are from Tennessee or Hawkins County, man, you guys gotta replace your sheriff. He's no good. He's no good. If he's not sanctioning his officers for not doing their job, he doesn't need to be the sheriff of that town. I'm sorry, they just don't. He just doesn't. No, I don't. I do not, Dallas. I do not think he's in a protection program. Sorry, protection programs don't cover missing children. You know, if you're involved in a missing child, I can guarantee you your tail would be out of that protection program, period. There we go. Guys, maybe you guys need to start writing. Bill Lee, Governor, what is going on with Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, Mr. Bill Lee? What is going on? There's only two there. We've talked to both of them. They're not interested in calling out the sheriff. They're not interested in investigative type journalism. They're interested in mainstream media, and we know how that is. I'm sorry. Anybody on both sides of the aisle know that they are bought and paid for by whoever's buying and paying for them, right? They are absolutely no help. Even the reporters that do want to help get silenced. Something's going on in Tennessee, and we need to get to the bottom of it. We need to get to the bottom of it. And you know, this is, many of you guys know, this is not our last time going to Tennessee. It's not our last time being there. It's just we are not telling anybody when we're going back. We won't. And you know, what will end up happening is you just see us go dark. And you know, just because we go dark doesn't mean we're going back to Tennessee. It could mean we're covering another case. But when we go dark, don't get upset. You know, don't say, "Oh, you haven't been live." You guys got to understand that we cover cases. We cover cases. We go out and search for people. We go out and interview a lot of people. We can't bring that. I mean, we can't even. We always have to wait until our portion is done before we even bring it onto YouTube. Like, we can't even tell you guys half the crap that we're doing until it's completely done and in a nice big bow, and then we broadcast it. Seriously, it's gotten that bad. It's gotten that bad. Yeah. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This, there we go. Oh, sorry. I'm still getting used to this new computer. Yeah, he did have his own problems. But the bottom line is, you are right. He has never been the same since that day. You know, when Chris McDonough was out there at the water hole, you know, Candus was exhibiting PTSD type symptoms. I'm sorry, you don't get those type of symptoms unless something tragic happened. Anybody that has suffered from PTSD, and I know that there are some people in here right now that have suffered from PTSD. You are talking about receiving that PTSD type symptoms from a major traumatic event. So why is Hunter never the same? And why, when Candus gets down to that water hole, do these symptoms exist in our parent? Because something happened there. That is the only conclusion you can draw from that, right? I mean, it's called common sense. Thank you. I do want up. Oh, boom. Blow it up. I'm writing that down. I'm going to leave that up there. Time, guys. Why not? Start calling, leaving messages. Tomorrow, Monday, 8 a.m. Start calling, blowing his lines up and saying what gives. Multiple counts of neglect those parents can be charged with, unrelated to the disappearance of Summer Wells. That's happened long before she went missing. I'm keeping that up there. Write it down, folks. We got 263 people in this chat. Write this number down. Start blowing their phones up. Up at Gov Bill Lee. I'm going to keep you, Salsa Shaker, thank you. I'm going to keep that up, keep this up just for a little bit. Everybody get your pens and papers out. Start writing that number down. That's the number right there. Start writing this number down. 615-741-2001. That is the phone number to Governor Bill Lee, Governor of Tennessee. Again, that number, 615-741-2001. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit, for another 30 seconds. And then we're going to go over to his Twitter handle. His Twitter handle is at GovBillLee. That's at symbol GovBill L-E-E. I'll put that up here in just a second. House and Senate representatives of the state of Tennessee, you will be next. We need to start looking into finding out who runs TBI. Let's start blowing up their phones too. You know, there's always the top brass. You start getting up in their orifices. It's kind of funny how things start getting done. Just saying, right? Just saying. All right. Twitter handle. Let's start blowing them up. Let's start making them squirm. It's funny how, you know, just like with this whole thing, me going after KVO for what he's doing to Vanessa Baugh. It's funny how quickly things get done, right? When you start going after politicians, if it doesn't affect them, right? If it doesn't affect them, nothing gets done. But look how quickly, right? Look how quickly things get done when it starts affecting a politician. Prime example, Kevin Van Ostenbridge calls his boss, right? Calls his boss Jim Boyd. Jim Boyd Realty is where KVO used to work, right? Jim Boyd is one of our state senators. No, our U.S. senators. It's funny how that all starts moving right along through the process, right? Co-sponsored by another Republican, stomping on the First Amendment of the Constitution. Can we say rhino? It's funny how when we start getting politicians, when we start irritating and becoming the blister on the butt of politicians, how quickly things get done. So let's be the blister on the butt of Governor Bill Lee. Good. Thank you. Thank you all that are Truth Teller and Salsa. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if that's true either. I think he had something where he was on probation for something at the time that Summer went missing. But I'm sure, you know, it's teenage stuff. I was on probation. I was a troubled child. You know, I had trouble in my family. Like I said, I had domestic violence in my home as a young child. And I had a lot of behavioral issues. I skipped a lot of school. You know, there was a lot of things that went on as a young child that I was dealing with. And it was because nothing was being addressed. I mean, it took me until my 30s to deal with my childhood trauma. And so I'm sure there's a lot of things that are going on there. And not only that, but we really believe that he was being abused in certain ways by Candus. I mean, that could have a lot to do with it too. That could have a lot to do with it too. Governor Bill Lee, guys, make sure you guys got it. Make sure you guys got it. Oh, wow. Okay. Gotcha. So it was after. Okay. Well, I know it was by the time Chris McDonough got there, you know, so yeah, I guess it could have been after. So that's sad. That's sad. So he was having major behavioral issues after. We know that. I mean, his mom said he has never been the same. He was having problems sleeping. Even when he was with Christopher McDonough, he was yawning throughout that entire interview. I asked Allie about that personally to her face. I didn't ask her about that over the phone. When we went up there the second time, I said, what was going on? She said he didn't sleep. He's been having insomnia, is what she told me. That doesn't sound normal, does it? Not normal, folks. For those that are just joining, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel. Don't keep me a secret. We like to have fun here. We like to talk about cases. We like to keep it real and keep it drama free. Yes. That's what we want. Be the blister on the back end of your politician to get things done. That's how you get things done. They might come up with a bill. No email. No email from the public. Another bullhorn Betty bill in Tennessee. Anybody can call. The more the merrier. They hear it. They hear it. That's the message. They are becoming the laughing stock of the United States related to missing children. Period. Period. Lock the parents up. They are responsible for committing crimes against these children before Summer went missing. Period. Period. Yeah. It's from a traumatic experience. She wasn't exhibiting these things at her home. She wasn't experiencing these things as she discussed the case. She started to experiencing these things when she was at the water hole. Let's think about that. Salsa shaker, keeping it real. Yep. Guys, we can help. It's about applying pressure. As my friend Jonathan Lee Riches always says, pressure breaks pipes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't. It doesn't. I have to agree with that. Scotland. My last name's Griffin. I'm from, I've got Scottish and Irish. I don't know which. I haven't followed my lineage that far, but I know I'm both. But I don't know what I'm predominantly, if that makes sense. So. Yep. Mention Roddy Lawson. He was the first on the case, meaning he had time to get rid of anything before anyone joined in. Very true. Very true. Roddy Lawson, why are we picking on you? Because you, my friend, aren't doing your job, and it's making people like us wonder why. Yeah. Why don't we start blowing up the facts? You know what? Go to her images and just start tagging him in it. Start tagging him in it. Let him realize she is a human being, that her life matters. I want him to see this 100,000 times. I want his office to know that we are done playing with TBI, Hawkins County, and the state of Tennessee. Do something. If Virginia and Georgia can do something, why can't Tennessee? Enough's enough. I'm sick of it. I hear you, Ronnie. Thank you. Let's get to 100 likes, folks. If we haven't already, let's get to 100 likes. Yeah. People that haven't walked the road, I don't wish it upon them, but don't think you know something. You never know anything about anything. People that don't know will never know. And you know what? Feel gracious that you don't know. But mm, 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 mm. Yeah, sad. These are behavioral changes, most likely related to a traumatic event. I've seen it. I've lived it. I personally have lived it. I have personally lived it. Yeah. Thank you. You guys are sweet. You guys are sweet. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Sorry. That is funny. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is funny. Come on. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. So it's tough, man. It took years. It took years because my domestic violence didn't start um, as an adult. My domestic violence issue started as a child, a young child. One of my very first boyfriends beat me every single day. Every day. I was 15 years old and I was forced to live with him. I was forced to be subjected to violence. He was on drugs. I was not. And I was beaten every single day of my life from the age of 15 until about 22 years old. Beaten every single day of my life. It was one of the most horrible feelings I had ever felt, the most helpless feelings I have ever felt. And, there is a breaking point when you start fighting back. And people will never, I don't want people to understand it. But I'm sick and tired of people thinking they know something and judging. They have no freaking clue. They have no clue. No clue. Yeah. Yan, good morning. Well, get gone then, but fight, stand up and fight back. Somebody, I don't care if people need to quit being scared, make the best thing about keeping yourself, from getting gone is being visible, ultra visible, ultra loud. And you know what? You rock it out. That's what you do. And you have an entourage. You're never alone. You know, we don't go out on these cases by ourselves. Jonathan might, he might go on a search by himself if it's in his area. But typically, we use the buddy system. And even with running for political office, never be alone, right? Never go out of the house alone. And that you'll find out will help. But something's got to happen. You got to get Roddy Lawson out of that sheriff's position. He's not good. He's not doing Hawkins. He's making Hawkins County a joke. There you go. There we go. That's what I am. Yep. She is. And I even asked Don, I'm like, I think the problem is with the society is they don't understand why you guys aren't more emotional when you're on TV. You guys don't cry, you don't beg for people to help find Summer. You don't, well, we're not going to fake cry. Okay. Well, you don't mind she doesn't mind dropping a tear when she's feeling interrogated, but good God, when it comes to her own daughter, if she cries, it's fake. Sick. Need 8 more. Thank you. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Absolutely. I've said that time and time again. And not only that, but why in the hell excuse my language, is CPS or DCF or whatever the alphabet soup that they call these children protective services, they are not law enforcement. Why are they conducting these investigations? That is the most stupid thing. And if they are, they should be trained by law enforcement, not by a college. Right? They need to know what a crime is so the crime can be reported to law enforcement, because law enforcement is the body that investigates crime, not a social worker. And not only that, but it irritates me because people that have never dealt with abuse, or how can you identify it? How can you know when people are lying when you yourself have never lied? You do not have that life experience. Only people with life experiences in these and have these experiences should be handling these cases. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think you should be able to go to a school, get a degree for 4 years and act like you know everything when you're out there unless you've dealt with it. You know nothing. Sit down. Sit down. You know nothing. You know what a textbook told you, so now you're educated? That's what they try to convince us of. Yeah. I think you told me that, truth teller. I think you told me that. Mike, if you're in here for, I don't know how to even take that comment, but that's despicable and deplorable. Not funny. Salsa. No, I would never, nor would I want to be. Nor would I want to be. Oh, we're almost to 99. Almost to 1/3 of the people that are in this room. Like, share, and subscribe, folks. Oh, we are at 101. Great, great, great. I can tell you, based when we went down there, we have a good idea of what really truly transpired, what actually happened that day. We have a good understanding. If we have that understanding, I'm pretty sure law enforcement does too, which is why I don't understand. They know something happened. They know Candus was involved. They know she called Don Wells. They know these things. I understand they're waiting to piece that portion of the case together, but they know. Okay, they know. Now they're just building the case. So if you already know, why not get them on unrelated charges to put their butts in jail until you get all the pieces to that case to move forward with it? That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. They found, when they were searching for Brian Laundrie, which upsets me even more. And Paola's sister Andrea had brought it to our attention while we were interviewing her. Was, they spent all this money on this massive search for Brian Laundrie, and then somebody else had brought up how many additional people they found in searching for him. Had they not been out looking for Brian Laundrie? These are people that went missing that law enforcement didn't give a damn about to look for. And then all of a sudden they get this case that had ultimate, maximum pressure. And I guarantee if it wasn't for protesters sitting out in front of their house, keeping it relevant in the news, they would have had the additional pressure to keep going out and looking for him. It would have just died down. They would have went to the bottom of the stack and Gabby probably wouldn't even been found. But, tit for tat. At any rate, because of this huge investigation, they were able to find many people that went missing. Many people. They weren't Brian, but they found many additional people that were given up on, that were never found, that were lost. And, even one murder, one person that was her husband, like, it's disgusting what people that say they love each other are willing to do to each other. Yeah. Yeah. Elizabeth. Hey, babe. Dunkin' Donuts, baby. Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. It is good. It's when I like Starbucks because Robin's got me addicted to the peppermint mocha. And then she teases me by taking a screenshot of peppermint mocha creamer in her refrigerator. I tried to find some and I couldn't find some. So anyway, she takes a picture of it. But here, when I'm at home, I drink Dunkin' Donuts with 2 sweeteners in it. That's all I ever, when I'm home, I try not to have any sugar. I try not to, but I'm finding, because I have people that visit like Olivia Mom and others, so I try to have, drinks here. Just, when they come over to have something to give them because all I drink is coffee and water. So now I'm finding myself every now and again going to the refrigerator and getting like a Pepsi or Dr. Pepper out, which is filled with sugar. Bad, bad, bad. Anyways, I had my 9-volt battery, was it died in my scale. Well, I finally found another 9-volt battery around here. I went and I had plenty, but when I went and tested them, you touch it on your thing, and if it stings, it's good. They were all dead. Like, it had been so long since I had those batteries, they were dead. Well, I just happened to run across another one, cleaning something out, and there was a 9-volt battery. I'm like, let me see if this one works. Yeah, it's live. So I put it in my scale. 7 pounds heavier. 7 pounds. Freaking out. So that 20 miles that I walked was probably good. Better than not. Ah, really? Yes, I know. I know. I tell you what, if Don Wells walks out of that courthouse tomorrow, I don't even know what to do. Like, I'll be ready to give up. Like, I certainly would be just like, there's no help. There's no help for Summer. There is no help for Summer if that man walks out of jail tomorrow. Seriously, none. We're done. We're cooked. If that man seriously walks out of jail tomorrow with all the shit that's going on up there on that, sorry for cussing, up there on that mountain, I'm done. I seriously am done. There's nothing more anybody can do. I will be dumbfounded. I will be dumbfounded. I will be on here. I won't even be able to monetize the video because I'm going to just be, I'm not even going to try to monetize the video tomorrow. So it's tomorrow the day? It is the day. Tomorrow, I won't even monetize the video. I really won't. I'm just going to come down like a bag of bricks. I'm just going to, I'm sure you guys might want to put your muffs on your ear, because I will probably say some of the most graphic, vile garbage ever in a million years tomorrow if he walks out of that courthouse. Seriously, like, that's okay. You know what? That pompous attitude gets you nowhere. Gets you nowhere. Now, I'm not saying that to you, Callie. Talking to them. Gets you nowhere. Didn't work for Lieutenant Kim Neal. All it did was make him look like a fool because we had to turn in leads to Jason Jensen, right? Now he looks like a real Jack. A $sign, right? He really does, right? At that point, because now it's like Jason's got to say, oh, well, that team that was down there that you were rude to came up with some legitimate leads here, and I'm going to turn those into you because you refuse to take them. How embarrassing is that? Oh my God. I would die. Like, literally die if that happened to me. I would have pounding headaches, like literally excruciating headaches because I drank so much coffee. It is an addiction. I think it is an addiction. I need to get off these. I will get off this before I ever get off this. This is like my life. I literally drink this stuff. Like, I got to get them cleaned and whitened because of this. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. I know. It's just irritating. It's irritating. It's irritating. It's irritating. I know. He better not. He better not. I will go absolutely. I'll have no faith in Tennessee law and order ever again. Like, from top to bottom to top. I will absolutely. I will sell my house and move to Tennessee to start working on political maneuvering there. I seriously, because this is insane. Like I would be willing to go there and start working on the politics and policies in that state. That's how insane this would be. Absolutely insane. It is time to start pushing for different bills so this never ever happens again. If you have charges for a parent and their child go missing, you charge those parents. They don't get free walks. Even if they weren't responsible, or even if their child was abducted, if they led to the cultivation of the environment for that child to be abducted, they are responsible and should be in jail. Feet hurt. They still hurt. They still have blisters. They still have big blisters. So just watch, just watch, just watch and pray. That's really what it is. Oh, Jen, thank you. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really am just losing the faith. I really am. I'm losing the faith. Mm, I'm losing the faith. So drink coffee from a straw. What? Just joking. Say what? Still haven't got the line out yet. I've been so busy doing all these other things and trying to find creative ways that people like supporting the channel and me and the team. And I don't even hardly have time. Like we're running, we're strategizing, I mean, think about it. I haven't even sat home got home yesterday. So if I stay here till tomorrow or the next day, that'll be the longest I have been home literally in 2 months. Right? Or a month, at least 30 days, because I've been on the go, 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 go. I don't think like my electric bill here went from like 200 and something dollars down to 70. Like I'm never here. I wish I lived there. Maybe I would, but I'm not a sheriff. I'm not a sheriff. Well, they better speed up to the rest of the world. This slow is not good. It's making them look like idiots. It's making them look like fools. It's showing the world what not to do in missing person cases, primarily children cases. You've got TB or GBI, you got VBI, you got all these other states that would not put up with this, and you got Tennessee. Like Florida, you don't even have to have a missing kid. You have them live like the Wells had their children living in. Like we just had a report. What was it? 3 weeks ago, I showed the report from ABC here in Bradenton. 4 adults living in that house in jail. Their children didn't go amiss. They weren't sick. They were found to live in deplorable conditions, and every adult in that house went to jail for child neglect. Every one of them. We don't play. Tennessee, what is your problem? Florida doesn't deal with it. Georgia doesn't deal with it. Virginia doesn't deal with it. What is going on in Tennessee? Yes, actually, Jen, you didn't hear through the grapevine. We met with when we were up there the last time, we went with the the assistant district attorney for Hawkins County, and she told us due to the COVID protocols. So it has to do with the whole COVID. Apparently, Hawkins County was going through a major wave of COVID related illnesses and stuff like that. So they have the COVID protocols that are preventing and limiting the people going into the courthouse to the attorneys and the defendant. So yes, we did hear from them. She did say that if we were going to come back there and we did want to protest it, we would have to do outside, because we were just going to go in there with Justice for Summer Wells shirts and sit in the bleachers and just be quiet. We weren't going to make a disruption or anything like that. But we just wanted our beings to be there with that Justice for Summer shirt on there to make an impact upon the judge. But she told us that the COVID protocols were in place and they're limiting the people, that we could do that outside the courthouse, but not inside the courthouse. So yes, you are absolutely correct about that. That is true. And again, I want to also clarify that, Don went on this poor pity me garbage BS like he always does, because it's always about him, never about his daughter, right? And he was telling how he can't go to North Carolina for summer, because of social media and all this. Wow. He can't go because his probation officer will not allow him to go. He is a liar. Okay. Don Wells and Candus Bly lie. Okay. Jonathan Lee Riches did this one thing about the last three complaints that Candus filed with law enforcement as false. And people are like, no, they weren't. They weren't false because we saw Marissa go up on the driveway. No, they were false because they included everybody else. They included everybody else. We didn't break the laws. Believe it or not, we have a lot of people here that do. They do. They are upset. They have been writing letters. They have been complaining. They have been keeping us informed on what's going on in Tennessee. They have been driving, believe it or not, and keeping an eye on the Wells property and reporting back. I mean, they've been doing a lot. So, just because they're not as vocal as say me or other people out there, bringing up Summer Wells, doesn't mean that there's people that aren't in that town that aren't fighting for Summer Wells. There are a lot. There really are a lot. And you got to understand that this is a poorer area. So people have to work. They have to get out there and they've got to slave labor to pay for their roof and food. It's sad. It's really, really sad. So it is what it is. So they do the best that they can with what they can do. But I can say that they are fighting for Summer. Everybody in that, there is not a place that I went that Summer Wells' face was not posted. These people really truly care in that area. They really truly care. I think what the problem is they don't really understand that more could be done. And I think that's the awareness that on our next trip, if these people are still out walking free, it's going to be educating the public in Hawkins County about the fact that they could be doing something more and could be holding their politicians accountable for this, because they should be doing a heck of a lot more than they are doing. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. So we will see how that goes. It is a very frustrating situation with the Wells. I can tell you that hands down, very, very, very frustrating. Again, if we can have action done by GBI and we can have action done by VBI, we can definitely have action done by TBI. TBI is behind the 8 ball on this case. They know it. We know it. We have to start doing something more. The governor is a great place to start. Start being the pimple or the blister on his rear end, and you will see how much pressure the governor's office can apply. Even without him saying a word, him just going to TBI or calling the head honcho and saying, hey, what's going on with the Summer Wells case? Not getting involved, but being involved, being present. It's funny how just that little bit of the governor's calling, what that does to an investigation. Just the presence. You don't have to say a word, Governor, but I guarantee just you being interested is enough to get the wheels greased. So. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Olivia, it is still tomorrow. So I did check it last night. It is at 1 p.m. in Hawkins County. If we can get a live stream of that, somebody needs to figure out how to do that. If anybody's in Hawkins County, send me the link to bullhornbetty@gmail.com so we can go live here. I've got another obligation first thing in the morning in a different area. I'm not going to talk about it, but I will be either going live or recording and uploading. It is going to be big. I'll just say that. I'm not trying to lose faith, Betty fan. I'm really not. It's just hard. It's hard. If he walks out of that courthouse, it's hard. It's hard. I don't know what else to say. It's like, how can we keep fighting for this baby if the system is fighting us, right? And fighting Summer. The system is not conducive for trying to find Summer, trying to hold the parents accountable. It is up to law enforcement and the judicial process to do that. And if they keep slapping Dawn on the wrist with all this crap, I have no faith. I have no faith in Tennessee. I have no faith in Hawkins County. I mean, heck, he was the law enforcement let's put this in perspective. Since he violated probation, law enforcement has been to his house at least 2 other times. Enough's enough. Maybe he needs to sit in jail for a little bit, Tennessee. Ever think about that? There was a creepy Sandman video that I did see, 7 to Life. There is a creepy Sandman video that I did see. Yeah. Creepy is the word to describe it. Yeah, if anybody has the link, please, if they do the court stuff live, please let me know. If somebody would want to call the courthouse, I've got an obligation first thing in the morning. Olivia and I are going somewhere, but I can tell you that if anybody can call the courthouse and find out how we can Zoom, either teleconference in, or if they've got this going live, how we can get updates. Anybody wants to provide us that information, we need to know as soon as possible. As soon as possible, that would be great. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we are getting to... We're over 2 hours. I've got a lot of stuff to do. It is Sunday. You would think that today would be a day of relaxation. It is not. I have a massive amount of things that need to be done, a lot of research that needs to be done. Tomorrow morning, coffee club. I don't want to say I'm going to have coffee club because I've got another obligation, but it is going to be it's going to be a pretty big deal. And we might be able to go live. We might not. So I'll leave it at that. But just, make sure that you guys are getting the notifications on here. There is something I wish I could tell you guys, but I can't. I wish I could tell you, but I can't. I can't. But as in Bullhorn Betty fashion, we will not disappoint. So I love you guys. Thank you to all my mods. I've been adjusting, as you guys can see, the commenting aspect of this page to help give you guys some relief. I hope that's been beneficial. And I hope you guys have been able to enjoy yourself. I know there for a while, it almost became unenjoyable and unbearable. I'm hoping that we are correcting the ship and making this coffee club a more enjoyable experience with no drama, because we advocate for a drama-free zone. If you want drama, there's 100 different channels on YouTube that you can go to. Please go. This is not the one. So I love you guys. God bless each and every one of you. And, until the next time. When's the next time? We never know. It's the Bullhorn Betty channel. So we love you. Have a great day. Make it a great Sunday. And do not forget that here, when we believe in God, we walk with God. God puts this armor around us each and every day. So take just a few minutes to thank the Almighty. God bless.